start learning. Yeah, we're just by my shver, and he has a pool in Netanya.
Right.
So it's like Gan Eden to have a pool in Eretz Yisrael and be able to access it without having to pay, and all the different stories of pressures of time.
His place or
it's his place, yeah, hasn't it?
One or two visit more regularly.
He has like books you in certain time, like one time a year for a few days, and that's it. Maybe one other time, maybe. The rest of the time he has other grandchildren from my family, my wife's family. So there's like a whole schedule. There's a wedding coming up, so that's going to block out a whole time, because they're not going to be around. They're going to be busy with the wedding and the Shavuot and Ufra. Yeah, but it's just there's a lot of demand, and everyone has to take turns, kind of.
All right, so it was great.
For us, it was brilliant.
Kids were jumping, splashing.
Loved it. So thank you, Hashem. And my son took some amazing pictures, like Menachem Dov, like just of nature and of how beautiful Eretz Yisrael is, like the sea, and it's very uplifting. I feel very relaxed from that side of stuff, and sometimes it's good to just get out the Dalaramas,
Yeah, beautiful.
Move around a little bit. Yeah, I found a Sephardi shul there that I'm very happy with. He does in a Chabad shul, it's also very nice. It's just a bit of a schlep. And it's only open Shabbos, so when I went for Shabbos, I went to the Chabad shul. Chabad, the Rav there has got energy, and the Sephardi minion, they Sephardim know how to daven,
Yeah, they're very good.
So when we're learning Rabbi Nachman, Likutei Moharan, I'm going to dedicate our learning to the Refuah Shlema, my mother. She's really not been well, and that's holding up my dad to visit. She just fell today, I think. She was in the hospital, and the day before she was in the hospital, I don't know. Hashem help her. Chana Liba Bas Simcha, and Refuah Shlema. You get to a certain age where things start to fall apart a little bit. You have to do the preparations now before you get to that. So you don't have to. He knows all about it. So anyway, Rabbi Nachman talks about this beautiful Torah. It's right at the end of Torah Lamed Daled, Sif Tes. It's just before Ches we were talking about. And in the English, if you read there, it's B'Hashgacha Pratis. It talks all about Parshas Pinchas. So we learned last week with Ari and his son, we touched on this, how Parshas Pinchas, Bris Yishalom, is very much a big chizuk in this Torah of connecting the mouth to the heart, connecting the Yud to the Vav, connecting the 10 Commandments to the Luchas, which is the heart level. The mouth is chokhmah, speaking chokhmah, and the heart is understanding, internalizing it. And this concept also goes together with Am Yisrael and the Tzaddick. Tzaddick is the Yud, is the mouth, and the heart again is Am Yisrael, and the bridging of the two. And one of the ways you awaken this Nekudah, this very deep concept, this Nekudah, very, very powerful concept in Chassidus. I remember learning about it a long time ago in a sefer called Derech Yosha Divrei Emes. Awakening the Nekudah Panimius is a very big part of Chassidus, but it's also a lot to do with finding a Rebbe. If you have a Rebbe who awakens that in you, a Tzaddik, like the Bavitch Rebbe or Rabbi Nachman ben Feiga or any of the big Tzaddikim, and awaken your Nekudah Panimius, then you know that's the truth, that he's your Tzaddik. That was the klal. So I had a few different mashpiyim and mechazkim and rebbes who awakened. Like Simai Zilberg, the Tolner Rebbe, Kalever Rebbe, certain tzaddikim who awakened inside of me, a deep part. But then there's learning the Svarim and connect to the tzaddikim, the Starim, or the tzaddikim Panimium, or tzaddikim Emmet. So we're connecting right now to Rabbi Nachman's Torah, and Rabbi Nachman says 3 points. One is to connect yourself to the Tzaddik, that awakens the Nekudah. The second one is through Sichot Chaverim, meaning awakening the Nekudah within you, or you awakening it within me, by each of us talking in Torah Sichot Chaverim. That's one of the pleasures, of learning together. And then there's also a Nekudah of Hitbodadut.
Right, so it starts with the Tzaddik.
Tzaddik, Chaver, Sichot Chaverim, and then most Kodesh Kedoshim by Breslov is Hitbodadut, talking to Hashem.
That's Kodesh Kedoshim.
Yeah, I would say of Breslov anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say that talking to relationship with Hashem would be the Nekudah that all of Klal Yisrael would agree. Yeah, because where you're gonna have a machlokas about who the Tzaddik Emes is. Yeah, whereas talking to Hashem, everyone can agree unless there's something wrong with your derech, everyone in Am Yisrael agrees. The Chaverim talks about Hitbodadut. He may call it slightly different. Cheshbon and Nefesh, however he calls it. But the Nekudah of talking to Hashem is something all of Klal Yisrael know is fundamental. And the idea of talking to friends, that's a little bit of a chizuk that Chassidus brought out. Because I would say by a yeshiva shederech, it might be borderline bittul zman, yeah? I mean, you're not learning a Tosfos. Why aren't you learning a Tosfos?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember that path, but I remember being in yeshiva. What was choshev was learning Gemara and learning Musa Svarim, yeah?
Right.
There wasn't really much time for Sichot Chaverim. I don't remember anyone talking about it. But maybe it's brought up in some Musa Sefer, I haven't seen it. But in the Chassidus, the idea of a chabura and talking it out with your friends, my Rebbe holds some of the pillars of Tona, of Chassidus. One of them is chabura, a weekly chabura to learn something in Chassidus together and then talk about it. And to connect to your chaver. So that's Sichot Chaverim is something that's very makubal in Chassidus, not just Breslov. And but the idea of the Tzaddick Emmet, you know that Rabbi Nachman is the one who's the most strong in the importance of it in many ways. Maybe the Noam Elimelech also, but the concept is that you have to connect through hearing the chokhmas of the Tzaddik, the eitzim of the Tzaddik.
Interesting. I mean, like the connection to Parshas Pinchas.
Yeah.
Which is that I never heard this before.
Yeah.
That
the neshamas Nadav and Aviv.
Neshamas and Nadav and Aviv.
Who are Kohanim.
Were Kohanim. Were inside.
Zimri. No, not Zimri. Or Pinchas.
Pinchas.
Ibor neshama.
They were inside.
He uses the word birth, but it's Ibor in Svarim like Tanya and Zohar. He uses a lashon of Ibor neshama. When they went up,
now,
then they came down into the Pinchas.
They were a little bit like chutzpahdik in a sense in the way they went ahead about bringing their karbanon. They didn't ask the tzaddik.
Oh, they didn't ask Moshe Rabbeinu
They
for
didn't ask
Eitzah.
Moshe Rabbeinu. So
They didn't ask the tzaddik of the door of that time, the
He's
Eitzah.
got this in him, and
these neshamas, but he fixes it.
With him, and,
how does he fix it?
But he doesn't end up speaking to Moshe.
He does speak to Moshe initially. Moshe forgot the law.
Moshe forgot it.
But he did go to Moshe.
Right.
And then he awakened that Nekudah Panemius.
So he did, that's right.
Because he did go to the Tzaddik, and by going to the Tzaddik, even if the Tzaddik can't tell you exactly what, that's an important concept.
Right, that's right.
You know how many times I've gone to Tzaddikim and they can't tell you exactly. Yeah. They can't give you a direct answer on what you're asking. Right. But just by going, it awakens your Nekudah Panemius, and they mamin in you enough, like Hashem for sure mamins in you, believes in you. And then you have the ability to have a little bit of das Torah for yourself.
Yeah,
it happens every so on. I wouldn't be somach on it 20 because you got negiyas, but the point is, by being connected to Tzaddik, it will awaken that nekudah. And by Pinchas, it awakened it enough that he could go Makayim halacha of the famous halacha of what's the halacha?
What to do.
Yeah, Amari, goy, sleep with a goy, koinoi, hogenbo, whatever the lashon is. Yeah, he comes and he takes out the spear of the ramach and he shechs him. Yeah, he's mohel am Yisrael. So that was last week's parsha Pinchas. Yeah, this week's parsha we see Matas Masai. There is a continuation because we killed them in this week's parsha. Yeah, there's a continuation with the Muhammad, the Midianites. There is a continuation. The Bizas, we get a lot of Bezui, which is the shefa that comes from the war. The what's it called? Booty. The booty from the war. That's one of the whole sugis here being kasheret. There is a continuation this week's parsha of what Pinchas did, but the nekudah once again and again is that they're mekusha to the tzaddik. That the mekusha to the members Nesos is together with Moshe Rabbeinu, the 42 journeys, like the famous stories of Tzaddikim. They went to the Tzaddik to ask, what is my purpose in this world? And some of the Tzaddikim are able to tell all your members Nesos, all your 42 journeys you're going to have. Like a lot of people journeying around right now. You mentioned before we even started learning, people are going on trips. It's a time of journeys. A lot of journeys in this. It's interesting. There's a Torah from the YISRAEL and others Tzaddikim bring it. There's another, I think other Tzaddik brings it as well, but the concept of 21 days times 2. There's 21 nights, 21 days, times 2 is 42, the 42 journeys. So within these 3 weeks, there's the 42 journeys. So you get an insight to your whole life and your whole labor and everything you're going to do in these 3 weeks. So they're a very powerful time, these 3 weeks that we're in. And Matas Masai is part of that, because Matas Masai is a clarification of those journeys. But once again, it's, if you know from the Torah, it's together with Moshe. We go with the Tzaddick. We go with the Chaverim, with the Kabura, with the group, with Am Yisrael. We go with the Klal, and we go together, hopefully with Hashem. And these are the 3 points that Rabbi Nachman brings down. He says, let's read inside. Zeh perish atem tiyuli memleches kohanim, chinis ahavas kedusha now. So he's always trying to get us to the fact that we are a holy nation and that we're aspect of holy love, which is very important because there's a lot of fallen loves. We're trying to connect to the holy love. The Goy Kodesh, Hana Kodesh, Hu Bechinas Nekudah. So what does it mean a holy nation? If Kodesh is the aspect of the Nekudah, the point. Vav Hu Bechinas Leiv. So remember, the Yud is the Nekudah, and the Vav is the Leiv, the heart, the internalization. Ayidei Ma Tavola Bechinas Ahava, Bechinas Kodesh, Vav, Ayidei Eila Devarim, Asher Tibar B'nei Yisrael. Hashem, what did he do? He gave us the 10 Commandments, and who was the one to give it over to us? Because we couldn't sovel. Who gave it over? Moshe. He Nekudah Klalis Nishmas Yisrael. He is that Nekudah that includes all the souls of Yisrael. He is the makor of all the neshamas come through Moshe. Especially the Moshe called Dovah. Moshe is all the generations. Everyone has a little bit of nitzvahs of Moshe, and then that's the connection to the Tzaddick within. We have this Nekudah, and it's included in all the souls of Israel. So Chila speaking of Kol Kabul Nekudah Klalis, and everyone is receiving from this general point. And then after that, everyone amongst Israel needs to now enlighten and wake up his friend with this Nekudah, increase that Nekudah, that point inside his friend. Like we've been saying this whole Torah, it's a long Torah going back and forth on this concept, but this is now the summary at the end of the Torah. The idea that the mouth is speaking wisdom, and that's the Nekudah, the point, and the Vav is the extension of that, is the heart that's internalizing, meditating and understanding. To my heart that's understanding and on the meditations. The Vav Shuhu Vahag, or meditating to my heart the understandings. Vav Nikra Goy Kodesh, and the Va'az Nikra Goy Kodesh. Hainu Kodesh Vav. And this Goy Kodesh is connected to this Kodesh is to do with the Vav. Shenekudah Me'ir Lavav. So the point is that's the process. Like you said, the Tzaddick is the one who awakens the Vav. You can't just skip the Tzaddick. Then through that you become a nation of priests, all of us. I know that was the whole thing with Pinchas. He became Brisi Shalom, he became a Kohen as well. But the point is we all need to be priests, not just Pinchas. I know I have a Kedusha, Kishtakabo min Kol Nekudas Halu Haim Minebe. Haim Nekudah Shebechol Echad Misrael Haim Nekudah Klalis. So then this holy love is coming off from the point. And this, everyone's getting out from it, and that Nekudah is in every one of Klal Yisrael, and it's the Nekudah that's inclusive. Shisham etzel kol Nekudas shora ahava kedusha, and from there comes out the Nekudah is resting in the holy love. Nikra Kohen. That's what the Kohen's busy with. What is the Kohen? And we just learned last week's parsha. Hineni nosin lo es brisi shalom. It was given to him the covenant of shalom. Nekudah he bris shalom. That was Pinchas. We learned about this a few weeks back, but the idea that in the holy Arizal Svarim of Eitz Chaim, it says that the light of Chesed, it remains in Yisod Atzilus. It doesn't just fall all the way into Bria, into the Olam of Bria. It stays and has rooted in a very high Olam, in a very high world of Yisod Atzilus, which is pretty much the highest world if you're talking about the four worlds.
It seems though that Shalom is the key Nekudah you get from Kohen.
Yeah. And Yisod is very much connected to your Shalom as well. Ki Kol B'Shamayim V'Aretz is a bridge between heaven and earth, that's through Shalom. Sim Shalom is connected to Shem Shakai, which is connected to Yisod. When a person speaks to his friend with Yerushalayim, Makabo Nekudah Shebelev Chaver Bli Levush. This is beautiful. He's receiving this Nekudah in his heart of his friend without any covering. Think about how important the friendships you have. Yeah? Like one of the things I'm doing next time, I'm going to go to see one of my old friends. just spending when you talk. 2 days on Monday, I spoke to my friend on the phone. I haven't spoken for a while. There's something different about these real friends. Ones you've always been. You've been by them. They've been by you. You've been through everything. Those kind of guys who know you from the past, know you from the present, know probably where you're going to go, and that kind of. Hopefully, we're building that here, but it takes time. But the point is, it takes investment. It says koneh tzachov. You have to buy yourself a friend. It doesn't just come b'chinam. Yeah. Chaverim bli levush. By the way, we're trying to step up in the Zera Shimshon. We're actually going to have food this week. An expanded base midrash. We've already got a sponsor, and we're going to try to be more consistent. So there will be food. Mordechai, given the shit, yeah.
People can come in?
Yeah, calming and
Same routine?
same vibe. Bit less food maybe, but until we get more people. But
Is there drink?
Drink, we'll have position. I have to keep it coming.
Yeah.
I'm not miyash. But it's through the group, the chevra, the v'ar machem is by speaking together with them. Ki yesh pamim she'ochin lekabel or hisoris lavodas Hashem yisbarach. Many times, then you're able to receive the light and awakening to avodas Hashem yisbarach. See how important the friends is by speaking with him. Nekudah shel chaver idei sichos holyland shemedabrim imam, and through that point with his friend and speaking some stuff, talking about Zera Shimshon, organizing the food, whatever. As mekablin or nekudah ayidei slabshis, you receive this light from this point through the clothing. Ki pamim suichin nekudah slabesh v'mislabshis b'diburim elu v'mekabel menu. So sometimes you do need to clothe. You can't always speak about the or. You have to speak about the clothing, the things that cover the light, and that's okay also. Within that is still the nekudah. That's the point. It's still connected. The point is we never.
That's interesting. Meaning, just every day. He says, Sichos is a way to get this light.
Yeah, it's amazing, and it will come with a clothing, which means it's not as direct, but it's still there, and it's still connected. I mean, we have to look into this very deep concept. We have to probably go over this again another time, but this is a very deep concept. In the short time we have, and that's the end of the Torah, Shalom YISRAEL. But I think we need that last part. We need to think about a lot because that's a deep concept. There. What's the nafkamina? Levush, no levush. What's the nafkamina? Talking to his friend and Sichot or talking to him in Torah, everything. But the point is, the chizuk is with Chassidus. Once it's connected to a Tzaddick and with Hitbodadut, a relationship with Hashem, everything gets connected and it increases this Nekudah, Benimius. And it's a big encouragement. It's a big chizuk. It's a quite deep idea, but it's worth learning. Yeah, it's worth learning though. And there's a Torah Lamed Daled. It really all connects up once you see the whole picture of the Torah.